All right, yo. No intro music today because this is some serious business. Um, I want to take time first and say, uh, excuse me. All right. I just want to take the time and say, um, well, first off, I thought an episode was going to drop Saturday, like usually drop the episodes on Saturday, midnight on the dot, but this one did not upload. Is because I didn't set it up. I already had it. I already had an episode ready, but I forgot to schedule it, so I didn't do that. That's why you didn't get a episode today. So sorry about that. I had to handle a few things. Once I figured that out, I was like, okay, so I'm going to go update that with that episode and the next episode, and they're both going to drop this Saturday. So stay tuned for that. Sorry for the delay on that. But a more pressing issue that I really want to talk about is the removal of one of my episodes. It's an earlier episode, so if you haven't listened to it, I don't think it really has any views anyways. But I don't see it anymore on. I don't see it listed anymore when I look for the podcast. So I can go on Spotify, go to podcast, and let me just see really quick, right? I can go to I go to Spotify, go to podcast. Now my thing is it's based in Spotify. Like they used to have a company that was managed under Spotify or directed or owned or however it was partnered. I think it was powered by Spotify. It was called Anchor. I started that. That was like in 2021, and now I actually finally got to it. But when I actually started the podcast, Anchor was no more. It merged back with Spotify, or they just changed it. Like I said, merged. That's what I believe it is. But feel free to check for yourself the information. Make sure that is correct. So they merged. They're no more. It's Spotify for podcasters, and that's what I've been using for the most part. And the most part, it's been cool. It's been really fun. Everything's been, swell. All the episodes that I uploaded were fine. Everything was fine. But I just recently found that I do not see my 16th episode, and it's called The Intro to Systematic Racism. I'm very confused about that because there was nothing bad I said on it. I was checking also on Apple Podcasts because it gets distributed to many different podcasts. See, Anchor used to distribute it on its own, but on Spotify for podcasters, they make you do it all yourself, which is whack. So Spotify podcasters, you're terrible for that, but I got it done and I did it, so I'm not mad at it because everything uploads how it should be. That's why I put it for midnight, so like whenever people wake up, whatever platform they use to listen to podcasts, it'll be right there and ready waiting for them. So I checked my Apple Podcasts. It's not there either. So I'm just going to assume also if I go to YouTube, because YouTube, they have podcasts as well. They allow you to upload your podcast as well if you get that set up properly. I go to mine. I go to that one. Let me see. Oh, YouTube still has it. Okay, YouTube still has it. So there's a couple places outside of Spotify and Apple that has it. And since Spotify holds since my podcast is based in Spotify, since that's where it is right now, like the where I upload the episodes, I'm using their terms of service and this, that, and the other. Okay, which is cool. But I put an explicit warning on there. So I know, like, it is sensitive information, and it is sensitive information. I presented it in an educated way, and also in a way that people can go look more into it. But apparently Spotify thinks that just because I type, here's a weird thing. Well, I type, for some episodes that you see that I'm not typing the exact word because of the censoring that is happening with America and American companies and stuff like that, and corporations. The reason some titles, especially ones that I made recently, you see that it's not spelled properly, or it's not spelled properly. It's spelled an alternative way. It's spelled differently, I should say. It's because of that censoring stuff, because I still want people to see it. I want people to get the information. It shouldn't be automatically censored just because of the title. And I feel like that's what they did, because I don't see it there anymore. It was there perfectly fine. Nothing was wrong with it. And it only doesn't even have views for real. And I don't even see it on my feed, like out in the background where I'm looking at all the episodes and I'm looking at all the analytics. I don't even see it. So I'm very confused and I'm very annoyed, because Spotify, if you out here taking off my stuff and I'm not even saying anything crazy, I'm not saying anything hateful, I'm not going against your guidelines or terms of service or anything like that. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling my truth. I'm telling my experiences. And I'm just talking about real things. I don't see you canceling toxic crap, but you're canceling something that's actually important. And with that being said, that means you're forever trash. Now, I should have known, since y'all censored a big podcaster, Joe Rogan, and some time ago just because he allows people from different experiences, backgrounds, and cultures and stuff like that, with different information and perspectives, to speak freely, and he does not judge it. He just wants to get more information. He wants people to think differently. But you guys have a problem with that because yada, 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 big government, whatever the case may be. You think some things are hateful or misinformation, disinformation. No, it's not. None of it is. So stop censoring people. Spotify, you're trash for that. And because you decided to do that, I'm not even going to play no games with you. You play with me, it's over with. I'm going to find a new home for my podcast. Ain't no way I'm finna deal with that. Y'all not finna play with me. Y'all play with me, y'all gonna see that I'm not the one to play with. You could play with your white sky daddy. You ain't gonna play with me. You could play with your so quote unquote elites. You are not gonna play with me. You can play with your government, but you're not gonna play with me. So I'm definitely going to find a new home for my podcast, because that's unacceptable. I don't even say nothing bad on that episode. I'm just speaking the truth about something that is affecting millions of black people. Okay, and it's and it's a bunch, and even more across the world. But I was mainly talking about the USA and its history of systematic racism. But you're not gonna try me like that. You're not gonna try me like that. So Spotify, count your days, and I'm canceling my subscription too. I'm gonna have to move my playlist, because I got a lot of playlists on there, and it's curated really, really nicely. So it's gonna be an annoying thing, but guess what? I'm gonna get it done. I'm probably gonna move to Apple Music or something like that, because you guys are out of your minds. Out of your minds. Don't ever mess with my content again. Don't ever mess with what I'm saying. Don't mess with my podcast again. And with that being said, I'm out of here.